considering that I'm most currently concerned with, figuring out my own career path, figuring out what I want to do, focusing on my studies. I'm currently applying to medical school, so I guess I haven't really thought about retirement after, though I do know I want to be a doctor. I'm not really sure. I haven't thought about the prospects of retiring from that career since I haven't even begun. I guess I've been kind of surrounded by parents who have already been dealing with this for quite some time now. My mom, she took an early retirement. She worked at the same company since she got out of college, and she took an early retirement about 10 years ago almost. So I kind of went through an experience with that. It was pretty interesting. My dad, on the other hand, he's kind of works for himself. He retired from corporate work back when I was much younger. I haven't thought about it in that light that much, at least not for my own retirement, though I've certainly noticed that this economic downturn, it's put more pressure on, not only my parents, but people of, the older generation, people who are working now. It's put more pressure on them to continue working for longer, whereas some of them may have retired earlier in the past, before this recession. Now they're, staying in work for longer. I definitely think that it's an important thing, especially for a society, a country, that they have to, have some way of securing, the livelihoods, standard of living for the people that have been working, supporting the country, really the blood and sweat of the country for the past, 30 years or 40 years that they work. I think that's part of the incentive a lot of times to work in certain professions, even though I know I didn't really consider it much, but I know a lot of people do consider, what are pensions like, when they start it with a job, what are benefits like. I think those are very important things, because after working for so long, you're working at the same time not only for your current but also for your future. So yes, I think pension programs are important. For a while now, people have been talking not only about the healthcare crisis but about Social Security. But I personally haven't heard much talk about programs or policy changes directed at pensions specifically. It's something that deserves to be discussed. It's something that affects or will affect many, many people, especially as the baby boomers continue to age and start to retire. I would tell them to make sure they don't forget about it and make sure that they're considering, everyone in the population, because a lot of, hardworking American people who've been working most of their lives, they need to be able to retire and enjoy a decent standard of living.